Bienvenue à Vox Terra. Welcome back. Hey, so today I want to share with you this that notice I'm saying even the IEA, or the International Energy Agency, has called for no new fossil fuel development from this day forward. Now notice I'm putting it as even, and I'm doing that for a reason. And I'll tell you what the reason is. It's because the denial industry is going to take this headline and try to do what I call an Aikido flip, or reverse psychology on you. And many people will buy into it. What will happen is people will begin to say, see, the International Energy Agency is trying to warn us about climate change. That proves there's a big conspiracy, government, and take away freedom. That's what they're going to do. But au contraire, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. They're using reverse psychology on you. Trying to. Well, what do I mean by the opposite here, amigo? What I mean by that, amigo, is that climate activists, environmentalists, have been criticizing the IEA, International Energy Agency, for years over its support of fossil fuels. So that they are now retracting and saying, look, we got to leave this stuff in the ground, that they're now saying what activists have been saying, activists like 350.org, Bill McKibben, Bernie Sanders calling to leave fossil fuels in the ground, many environmental organizations, that they're calling for that isn't evidence of the big government, it's evidence of the fact that activists are finally breaking through into the mainstream. So what is the IEA calling for? Well, according to the Guardian news service, from an article written by Fiona Harvey, they're calling for no new development of oil and gas fields going forward, no new coal power plants going forward, or starting 2035, no new fossil fuel powered cars, if the world is to stay within safe limits of global heating and meet the goal of net zero by 2050. Now let me jump to an article from the New Republic by Kate Aronoff, written also May 18th, 2021. Even the international agency, that's where I got that from, thinks it's time to stop drilling new oil wells. The IEA was founded by Henry Kissinger. It's not run by radicals, and I'm quoting Kate Aronoff. And according to her, it was founded as a geopolitical counterweight to OPEC, citing from a group called Oil Change International, and they're an activist organization, so I would definitely check them out, and I'll provide you a link in the description section or below the YouTube video. IEA's first 1.5 Celsius model closes the door on new fossil fuel extraction. For years, we've seen fossil fuel companies and governments justify their fossil fuel expansion plans, from the Trans Mountain Tar Sands pipeline, expansion to Arctic oil drilling, to the Adani coal mine, on the backs of scenarios from the International Energy Agency. Today, after years of pressure from climate activists, quoting OCI, investors, business people, and diplomats, the IEA finally released its first ever fully fledged energy scenario aligned with the urgent goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 Celsius. Thus, according to OCI, the oil and gas industry has lost a powerful shield. So what's happening here is the oil and gas industry, investors, banks, that kind of thing, they'll use the IEA reports in the past to say, see, we still have room to keep developing and extracting new gas and oil, and everybody can feel good about it. But the IEA is behind the curve. OCI has been analyzing the disconnect between new fossil fuel development and the Paris goals since 2016. We found then, we meaning OCI, that already operating or under construction oil and gas fields and coal mines contain enough, I love this quote, enough fossil fuel reserves to push the world well beyond 1.5 Celsius degrees of warming. So that's getting us back to that leave it in the ground idea. You keep pulling all this out and burning it, we're getting even hotter than we are now. And we're getting hotter even than we are now anyway because of those feedback loops I've talked to you about in other videos. But OCI goes on again to point out, with the IEA's fully Paris-aligned scenario, companies like Shell and Total can no longer comfortably point to the IEA to defend their plans to expand oil and gas extraction. And I hear OCI goes on to talk about the UK government, The UK government, which helped commission this new IEA report, will have a tougher time claiming that its decision to keep the door open to new licenses for offshore exploration and extraction fits with its Paris commitment. Major fossil fuel banks like JP Morgan, Chase, and Citi have a new minimum baseline for stress testing their portfolios and legitimacy of their net zero goals. So here what OCI is pointing out is that a lot of these companies like Chase or JP Morgan, they want to say, hey, we're doing the green thing. Really, we are. But now they're saying because of what the IEA did, they're going to have a tougher time now. So they're applauding this new move. They're just saying it's coming late, but hey, better late than never. So the IEA positions and their flagship WEO or World Energy Outlook report become what they call a default for world governments and the different governments around the world and different businesses to use to justify their energy decision making, which guides trillions of dollars in investments. So now they want the IEA to go a step further. The IEA must seize this moment to transform its flagship WEO report, putting a 1.5 Celsius scenario at the center and focusing each headline, each report, each chapter, and each graph on the implications. So here what they're concerned about is they want the IEA to go further because what they're worried about is that a lot of places where there already are these extractions occurring, they might use this as a chance to expand them. Be like, hey, look, we're not doing anything new. We're just, working on the ones we already got here. So when you let people know about this IEA report, and they try to tell you, oh, see, big government. No, you let them know, no, this is activists like you and me pushing and finally breaking through. And now the evidence can no longer be suppressed, that the excessive burning of fossil fuels is poisoning our planet in many ways, from the refining of oil and gas and the carcinogens produced in places like Cancer Alley, but even more drastically and more pressingly in the accumulation of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, which is heating the surface temperatures of both ocean and air. And until next time, I hope you found this video helpful, somewhat entertaining. You've subscribed, you've clicked the like button, you've clicked the notification bell so you know when I'm putting up a new video. You're sharing my videos to help get the word out. As always, peace be with you.